I changed my relationship status at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday, right after Madison told me I wasn't post-worthy. She didn't see it until morning. By then, the screenshot had already made its way through her friend group like wildfire through dry grass. That's when I knew I had her. Before we continue, we ask you to hit the hype button, subscribe, and like the video to help the channel grow. Tell us which city you are from in the comments. We would like to get to know our audience better. My name is Aaron Blake. I'm 34 years old, and I've spent the last 9 years guiding metal tubes full of people through the sky without letting them touch each other. Air traffic control teaches you things most people never learn. How to stay calm when everything's chaos. How to see patterns in noise. How to make decisions while everyone else is panicking. Madison never understood that about me. She thought my silence was weakness. She mistook my patience for stupidity. She was wrong. It started 6 weeks before that Tuesday. I came home from a double shift, the kind where you don't blink for 8 hours because one mistake means 200 people don't see tomorrow. Madison was on the couch, phone in hand, laughing at something Haley had sent her. "Rough day?" she asked, not looking up. "Standard. Clifford posted about his new recovery program. 20 people signed up already." She finally glanced at me. "He's really building something, you know? It's inspiring." Clifford Harrington, owner of Peak Form Fitness, a studio with glass walls, expensive lighting, and equipment he'd never actually paid for. Madison had been liking his posts for 3 months, then commenting, then meeting him for coffee to discuss social media strategy. I said nothing. That's what I did best. The comments started small. Little digs about my schedule, my job, my lack of ambition. I worked rotating shifts, sometimes days, sometimes nights, sometimes that brutal swing shift that leaves you feeling like you're living in a different time zone than everyone else. Madison hated it. She hated that I couldn't attend her friends' birthday parties or her networking events or whatever performative gathering she'd committed us to that week. "You're married to that job," she'd say. "That job pays for this apartment," I'd reply. "Clifford makes his own hours. Clifford doesn't control airspace." She'd roll her eyes and go back to her phone, scrolling through his feed, double-tapping his photos, leaving little fire emojis in his comments. She wasn't even trying to hide it anymore. "I'm not changing my relationship status until you do something worth posting," she said that Tuesday night. "Fair," I replied. 2 hours later, I updated mine to "It's complicated." No explanation, no drama, just 3 words that would make her entire social circle ask questions she couldn't answer. I went to bed. She didn't. By morning, my phone had 17 texts from her. I didn't open any of them. Instead, I checked our joint account. Withdrawal, $800, labeled travel. I opened the tablet we shared for grocery lists and recipes. Madison hadn't logged out of her email. The confirmation was right there. 2 round-trip tickets to Miami, departure Friday morning, return Monday evening. Hotel reservation at some place with boutique in the name. Total cost split between our joint account and a credit card I'd never seen before. I took screenshots, not for anger, for leverage. The rest of that week passed in careful silence. Madison tried apologizing for the post-worthy comment. She made my coffee Wednesday morning, asked about work Thursday afternoon, even suggested we watch a movie Thursday night. All of it performance, all of it strategy. I played along, said the coffee was good, told her work was fine, picked the movie she wanted. She thought she was winning me back. She thought I'd forget. I forget nothing. Thursday night, she packed. I pretended to be asleep. She kissed my forehead on her way out, probably for her own conscience, and whispered, "I'm visiting my sister." Her sister lived in Portland. Miami International is outside my airspace, but I know people everywhere. Friday afternoon, I made a call. 40 minutes later, I had the information I needed. Gate number, boarding time, seat assignments. I didn't go to confront her. That would have been amateur hour. I went to watch. The airport was packed, Typical Friday chaos. I wore civilian clothes, nothing that marked me as staff. Madison saw me first. She was at the gate with Clifford, his arm around her waist like he owned something. Her face went white, then red. Then she grabbed Clifford's hand and marched toward me. "What are you doing here?" Her voice had that edge, the one she used when she thought she could shame me into backing down. "Working," I said. "You?" Clifford stepped forward. He had the shoulders of someone who lifted weights, but had never actually been hit. "Look, man, I don't want trouble." "Then don't make any," I said. My voice didn't rise. It never needed to. Madison's hand was shaking. "We're getting on that plane." "I know." I leaned closer, so only she could hear. "Take a picture of his face tomorrow. Post it under, 'When the bill isn't covered anymore.'" I walked away. Behind me, I heard Clifford ask what I'd said. Madison told him nothing. She was already lying to him. That night, Madison texted Haley, "He's quiet. I think he's planning something." She was right. Monday evening, Madison came home. I was at the kitchen table, laptop open, bills spread out like a crime scene. "We need to talk," she said. "About Miami?" Her face did something complicated. "How did you—" Bank statement, tablet, email confirmation, pick one. "You were spying on me?" "I was checking our finances. You withdrew $800. I wanted to know why." She sat down across from me, and I saw her trying to decide which strategy to use. She landed on defiance. "I needed space to think." "With Clifford." "That's none of your business." I slid a paper across the table. "This is the joint account closure notice. I filed it this morning. Whatever's left gets split 50-50. After the 800 you took, that's about 400 each. You can't do that." "I already did. It's legal. We're married, but the account allows either party to close it with notice." "I gave notice." Her hands balled into fists. "What about the credit cards?" "The ones in my name? Those are closed too. The shared one will be paid off and canceled by Friday." "How am I supposed to live?" "However you were planning to when you left me for a guy who finances his gym equipment." That's when she started crying. Not real tears. Madison didn't do those. These were tactical, designed to make me feel like the villain. I didn't feel anything. "Aaron, please. I made a mistake." "You made a choice. Choices have consequences." "What about the apartment?" "Lease is in my name. You have 30 days to find somewhere else." Her tears stopped. "You're serious?" "Completely." "Clifford will help me." "Will he?" Something in my tone made her pause. She studied my face, looking for the crack, the weak point. There wasn't one. "What did you do?" "Nothing yet," I said. "But the month just started." She tried arguing, tried guilt, tried reminding me of our wedding vows, our history, the 6 years we'd spent building a life together. Every word bounced off me like radar returns off a ghost target. Finally, she grabbed her phone and called someone. Clifford, probably. The conversation was short, tense, full of pauses where she was clearly not getting the answers she wanted. "He says I can stay with him," she announced, like it was a victory. "Good," I said. She left the next morning, 3 suitcases and a garbage bag full of shoes. No goodbye, no final argument, just the sound of the door closing and her car starting in the lot below. I gave it a week, then I made my next move. Clifford's studio was in a commercial building on the east side, sandwiched between a yoga place and a vegan cafe. I'd done my research. The lease was month to month because he couldn't commit to long term. 3 other tenants had complained about noise. The landlord was looking for any reason to clear him out. I didn't have to give him one. He'd already done the work himself. The space next to Peak Form went vacant on the 15th. I called the landlord, said I was looking to open a recovery consultation business. Total fabrication, but it sounded legitimate. He scheduled a walkthrough for that Wednesday. I showed up in business casual, asked smart questions about foot traffic and parking. nodded thoughtfully at his answers. During the inspection, he noticed the shared hallway. Fire extinguisher tags expired. Emergency lighting non-functional. Exit signage missing. That's the tenant's responsibility, I said. Right? Supposed to be, the landlord muttered, making notes. I asked about utilities, about the lease terms, about renovation restrictions. Made it look like I was seriously considering the space. The landlord ate it up, probably already counting his commission. By Friday, Clifford had a notice on his door. Compliance inspection required within 10 days or insurance gets notified. No insurance means no business. Madison called me that night. What did you do? Looked at a commercial space. Why? Clifford's losing his studio because of some inspection. Did you report him? Why would I do that? I don't even know where his studio is. That was a lie. She knew it, but she couldn't prove it. This is because of me. Everything isn't about you, Madison. You're trying to destroy him to hurt me. I'm not trying anything, things are just happening. She hung up. I smiled. The following Tuesday, I got a text from an unknown number. Parking garage, midnight, we need to talk. Clifford. I went. Not because I was scared, because I was curious. He was waiting by his truck, arms crossed, jaw tight. You think you're smart? I don't think about it much. You sabotaged my business. I looked at an empty space. The landlord found code violations. That's not sabotage. That's negligence catching up. He stepped closer. Stay away from Madison. She left me, remember? She's your problem now. She's not a problem. Give it time. His fist came fast, but I'd been watching his shoulders. I moved left, caught his arm, used his momentum to put him face first against the truck. No rage, no theatrics, just mechanical pressure applied to joints that don't bend that way. I don't want to hurt you, I said quietly, but I will if you make me. She's using you, he gasped. She can't pay for anything. I'm covering her rent, her food, everything. She said you froze her out. I closed accounts with my name on them. She said you'd help her. She was wrong. I let him go. He stumbled back, breathing hard, rubbing his shoulder. I'm done with this, he said. With her, with all of it. He drove away. I watched his taillights disappear and felt nothing. March came with rain and paperwork. The divorce filing was simple. No kids, no property disputes, just a marriage that had outlived its purpose. Madison called 3 times that week. I didn't answer. She left voicemails. I deleted them without listening. Then she showed up at my apartment on a Saturday. I almost didn't answer, but curiosity won. I need help, she said. With what? Money. Clifford kicked me out. Haley won't return my calls. I have nowhere to go. You could get a job. I had a job, social media management, but I need a new laptop and you want me to pay for it. We were married for 6 years. Were. Past tense. She tried the tears again. They didn't work any better than last time. I made a mistake, she said. You made several. Can I just stay here for a few weeks, until I figure things out? No. Aaron, please. I'm staying at a motel. It's $200 a week. I can't afford that much longer. That's not my problem. You did this on purpose. You destroyed my relationship with Clifford. You got him shut down. His studio failed a safety inspection. That's on him. You reported him. I looked at real estate. The landlord did his job. If Clifford's business couldn't survive basic code compliance, that's not a conspiracy. That's incompetence. Her face twisted with something between rage and desperation. You're enjoying this. I'm not enjoying anything. I'm just not fixing your problems anymore. I don't have anyone else. You had Haley. You had Clifford. You had a whole network of people you performed for. Where are they now? She didn't answer. You wanted someone post-worthy, someone exciting, someone who made you feel special. I pulled out my phone, opened her Instagram, showed her the last photo she'd posted, Her and Clifford at some restaurant, smiling like they'd invented happiness. It had 43 likes. You got what you wanted, now you get to keep it. He dumped me because I couldn't pay rent. Is that what you wanted to hear? I didn't want to hear anything. You made your choice. He made his. That's how choices work. You destroyed everything. I paid bills. I closed accounts with my name on them. I looked at commercial property. Everything I did was legal. You manipulated. I let reality happen. You built a life on my money and called it yours. When I took the money back, the life collapsed. That's not manipulation. That's physics. She stood there, shaking, probably running through every card she had left to play. When she realized there weren't any, something in her face changed. The performance dropped. What was left looked tired and small. I was awful to you, she said quietly. Yes. And you were waiting for this. No. I was hoping you'd prove me wrong. But I didn't. No. She nodded, wiped her eyes with the back of her hand, and left without another word. I locked the door behind her and went back to the TV. 2 weeks later, I got a text from Madison's number. I filed a fraud complaint on the joint account withdrawal. My lawyer responded in an hour. Withdrawal occurred before closure notice. Account holder has full legal rights. Complaint dismissed. That was the last I heard from her. April came, then May. The divorce was finalized on a Wednesday. I signed papers in a conference room with wood paneling and artificial plants. Madison wasn't there. Her lawyer said she'd signed the day before. 3 months after that, I saw her at a grocery store. She was with some guy I didn't recognize, laughing at something on her phone. She saw me. Her laugh stopped. The guy asked what was wrong. She said nothing. I nodded and kept walking. I don't know if she ever figured it out, that the revenge wasn't in destroying her. It was in showing her that I never needed to. That everything she'd built only existed because I'd been holding it up. That the moment I stepped aside, gravity did the rest. She wanted something worth posting. She got something worth remembering.